I just wanted to throw those tips out there. I know I struggled with this bow drill for over a year. I followed the advice of everybody on YouTube and on the Bushcraft USA forums and a few other forums, Paleo Planet, and those guys really know their stuff, you know, and they have a process down that works for them. But I think what this is all really about is experimenting with the materials you have available and figuring out what works for you, because the same materials don't work for everybody. Everybody's body is different. There's so many factors that go into this. I think it's best if you just take the advice of all the people you know and kind of combine that together and experiment around with what's in your area and find something that works for you based on your own experimentation and your own experience. That's what I did, and I seem to have this bow drill down fairly well now. I'm still a little sloppy in my approach, but I can pretty much make fire every time. Sometimes it takes me a half hour, sometimes it takes me 30 seconds to a minute. One thing I will tell you is, based on my experience, which isn't extensive, but I have started a good many fires now using the bow drill. One thing I can tell you is, if you have it right, if the materials are going to make fire for you, you will get an ember within a minute or 2 minutes at most. If you are spinning that spindle with all you've got and all you're getting is smoke and no ember, and it's going on for longer than 1 or 2 minutes, stop. Stop what you're doing and find out what you're doing wrong and correct it. Try something different. Try using a different material for the spindle. Try lubing up your bearing block. Try tightening your string so it doesn't slip. Do something, because if you just sit there and keep spinning that spindle, you can spin it all day long and get smoke all day long, but unless it's just right, you won't get an ember. And if it is right, you will get an ember within a minute. Typically within a minute, that's what I've found. And it doesn't take a great deal of effort to do it either. Once I get everything set up, I'm going to really get detailed into this and show you exactly how I've set my stuff up, so it requires minimal effort and is consistent. It's repeatable. So let me go ahead and get this all set up, and I'll show you. I know some of my videos I tend to ramble on, but I really don't want to leave out some small detail that could, you know, help you have an easier time doing this, because I've watched 100,000 videos on a bow drill, and I've talked to 20-30 different people, maybe 100 different people about it. I've read books, and they all seem to leave out that one important detail. And I think it's a lot of that has to do with them being so experienced that maybe they don't recall the struggle they had when they started. One thing I will tell you is, as far as the bow drill goes and books, John and Jerry McPherson's book, I believe it's called Naked into the Wilderness 2 or something like that. They just re-released it under a different name. I think it's called The Ultimate Survival Guide or something now. But their first and second book are priceless, because they really do go through the details. And that's what I'm trying to emulate with my channel, is not forgetting the details and not forgetting how hard it was to do this when I first started, and not forgetting that little spark of information that finally clicked for me, that allowed me to make it happen. So hopefully I'll provide that to you, and hopefully it doesn't come off as me being a know-it-all, because I'm certainly not. I've already said that I have limited experience with the bow drill, but I do feel that I have learned some important stuff through experimentation, and that's what I want to share with the YouTubers and all the other people out there that are trying to do this stuff, you know, just to make it easier on you, and hopefully get some feedback through your videos and posts and what have you, as to find ways to make it easier for me as well. And I hope that this channel is doing that for you. It's definitely helping me. Simply just going back and looking at my own videos, I have learned things. When you're trying the bow drill, you're sweating and you're struggling and you're spinning that spindle and your hands are getting sore and your shoulders getting sore. Sometimes you overlook things, and it could be a very simple thing. For me, I didn't realize I was doing it, but when I went back and looked at my videos, it was obvious that my spindle was binding in the bearing block, and that was a huge part of my problem. But as I was doing it, I didn't notice that. But by watching my videos, it was immediately obvious that that was a large part of my problem. And another part of my problem was just trying to work that bow so fast and put so much pressure on the spindle that I was ending up with the same problem of the spindle not spinning and just not having that fluid motion that is required, in my opinion, to make this a somewhat effortless operation. So I think the videos are a great tool. Watching other people do it, I mean, you can easily learn from other people's mistakes. That's the best way to do it, really. And if you don't have that option, then you just have to learn from your own mistakes and your own bloody knuckles and what have you. But I'm going to quit rambling on now and get back to putting my bow drill together here.